good, guys? It's your boy Mindstate, and last month I decided to take a little break from what I do normally with my complete mass variety, and I decided to specialize in a genre that I love to the fullest: roguelikes. Now I played a bunch of different games. We're playing RoboQuest, Dead Zone Rogue, Voidbreaker, but there's one that I didn't even actually have on my list, and that was Battle Shapers. Battle Shapers is a slept on game. I'm telling you, like, honestly, like, it's a game that has been completely eluded by most of the roguelike community, it seems. And in the FPS realm of roguelikes, this one deserves to be up there. I'm telling you, it's dope. And here's 10 reasons why. So number one, this game is indie, but it's actually made by a bunch of old AAA developers. Isometric Empire have actually contributed to a bunch of different games, like Prince of Persia, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed series, you know, old Ubisoft devs doing Ubisoft stuff. And these guys' first contribution to the industry as a bunch of indie devs is Battle Shapers. It's a roguelike FPS. I put the light in there for a particular reason, in which you traipse along New Elysium, a bunch of different towers, in hopes to see if you can beat 3 of the robot overlords that inhabit them. We'll get to those bits later because those are actually some of the most important parts about the game as to why it's dope. But just know that depending on which order you choose of which boss, certain things are going to be a bit different for your run. Now, the elephant in the room is a particularly big one that we actually know well from the AAA industry in general. This game shares a very similar DNA to a game that we know and love, or rather a remake of it. If you're an FPS enjoyer, I know you are. This game is Doom 2016 mixed with Mega Man. Try and wrap your head around that real quick. The particular reason as to why this game works in that way is because it utilizes a melee system that allows you to regain resources whilst you punch people around the room. It's actually the only way to regain your shields. Very Doom coded if you ask me. Okay, so it's Doom coded, it has that modern FPS fire, but why is it a good roguelike? Why is it a good roguelike? And that brings me to reason number 2. The reason why it's a good roguelike is because it has a pretty unique system for fixes that I haven't actually seen a lot. You get a couple of similar ones here and there, but in my opinion, this is one of the best ways to just not have to worry too much about leaving weapons around. The game itself allows you to pick up weapons, take their fixes, and put them on weapons that you want to keep for your build. If anything, that just gives you more of a reason to create some of the craziest builds that you can see. And we all love to have our builds completely tuned to what we want, rather than letting RNG roll away. Now, on stream I ended up finding this pretty cool combo where I wanted to combine shock and pyro, and I ended up getting this new carbine. I wanted to keep my missiles that I kept shooting pyro with, so I just picked up my old weapon, recycled the affix, and now I still got it on my new weapon. Pretty cool. The synergies in general are pretty cool. We'll get onto that a bit later. But what in particular is actually really good about the movement in this game? That's number 3. Movement in particular in this game just feels so clean, precise, and just well knit. Whether you're either dashing around, getting jumps, or using some of your abilities like the Falcon Dive that I'm using here, it's just really dope to be able to get around and make sure that you avoid enemies and projectiles. So many different options while still being able to keep your boots on the ground and get those shots in. It just feels so tight. Pause on that one though. But on top of that, there's entire sections in the game like challenge rifts, which actually challenge you to work around that parkour element of moving around, dashing into the right places and getting those jumps in. That brings us on to the next section. Rifts. That's number 4 for those of you counting. What's that? Challenge rifts and gateways are actually really cool ways to be able to get yourself some extra abilities and extra equipment. They pop up in these little purple bits of corruption around the towers, and if you activate them, we'll be starting a new event like this one, which is beacon capture. Kind of works in a little bit of a King of the Hill way. We have to hold on to the point, defending against enemies that are trying to take it over as well. You've also got elite challenges, which target you to try and take down a member of the elite guard. These ones are pretty cool because you're going to end up fighting against a mini boss. Fighting against mini bosses in between your runs is always a good way to try and get yourself some more synergy. Keep on your challenge runs, people. It's one of the best ways to try and build up your affixes. You're getting as many as you can when you finally get to those overlords. Speaking of overlords, it's a particular thing that you're going to be wanting to try and get from them. So here's number 5. Cores. Cores in particular kind of function like your main classes. Once you beat overlords, you're going to be getting these and you'll be able to change your main ability sets. One particular that I use quite a lot is Wind Core, because it actually allows you to do double jumps. And on top of that, your melee then functions as a frisbee. You can actually melee people from a range. You can also combine other cores into your secondary core. This gives you additional abilities to be able to choose from. For the one that I did on stream, I particularly chose the Strike Core. The Strike Core in particular gives you haste and rapid fire. So if you're a sort of person that likes to move around really quickly, and get additional shots in as well, this is the core for you. But there's so many options. Play around to your heart's content. You never know what combinations you'll find. Now, up to number 6. In particular, one thing that I think is really good about any roguelike, you're going to need some good enemy variety. Now, enemies come in a wide variety. From your basic hard hats that have burst rifles, your dredgers that have shotguns, and grinders that actually have rotary shredders for arms. Like, what is that? But it's when you get into the later stages that you end up fighting against enemies like Mistmantles and Manvatters, which are literally the bane of my life. These are the sort of enemies that you'll be finding, and you'll want to be trying to make sure that you can find any way to take them down. Being melee-based and gun-based enemies is really cool. Especially drones as well that also sometimes provide shield generators for people. The enemy variety is wide, but there's absolutely nothing that comes close to the main event. That obviously is number 7, bosses. Now the bosses of the main game do not play around, trust me. We have between a choice of 3, the Strike Mantis, who utilizes a lot of melee attacks, in particular dash attacks straight towards you, and a little turret on top of his back that tends to swing around that you're going to need to dodge. The Volt Colossus, who uses a lot of ground pound AoE attacks and homing missiles as well. And the Wind Magistrate, who uses a lot of tornado based pattern attacks, aerial hits, as well as some dives too. You beat them, you get their cores, or if you've already beaten them, you get to level them up. I'm counting this one as well for number 8. Integrator hacks, which in my opinion is one of the most important things in the game. If you've been working towards a particular style of elemental attack or an elemental synergy, these are the sort of things that can help win a run. When I was telling you about that power and that electricity, I've now got a synergy that works directly in tandem with the both of them. What a great reward for beating a boss. But the most important thing that you need to do is pick your battles at the right time. Every single overlord that's beaten, the next levels will get even harder, with even more modifications that happen to each tower. The last boss that you end up fighting is going to have the most. And then you're on to the final round, against the one who started all of this corruption, Veros, or Ver-Os? I don't know how it's said. Let's just say that this boss was not that much of an easy feat, I'll tell you that for sure. You've got a completely unique tower to try and get through, or rather some of the original halls. And then once you get to this, my god, this is a slog. If you ever played the final boss in RoboQuest, it's got about the same sort of vibe, but trust me, you're not ready for this. And we're nearly there. It's number 9. One thing in particular I really love about this game is its meta progression, but also how the way the game kind of features a little bit of a Metroidvania style vibe. Now at the main hub, you've got a main space that you can put all your progression points into. This is the Cypher Cloud, where you'll be finding all the upgrades for your maximum health, armor, extra weapons, as well as talents. But you'll also be able to find quite helpful things like being able to pick your particular starting weapon, how many credits you start off with as well. You'll be finding a lot of these ciphers around in the world as well. When you upgrade your main core, you'll be finding more abilities that allow you to find things in particular areas. Those bits you'll actually need to see if you can start doing wall runs, being able to break walls as well, and you'll find all sorts of hidden stuff that's hidden around the towers. So there's loads of things to do. What in particular do you need in the background of any sort of roguelike that you're playing, or pretty much any good game that you're playing? A banging soundtrack. One of the things that I love about the soundtrack is the way how it mixes metal, chiptune, and does a really retro vibe in general with the game. A lot of people have put slander on the name of this soundtrack. I think it just works so well, in particular with the way how it kind of fuses that old school Sega vibe with the brand new style. It just works. So that's it, people. That's Battle Shapers for you. And those are 10 particular reasons why I think that this game really is underrated. With only 906 or so reviews on Steam, I definitely think that people need to check this game out. Metroid Empire haven't even told me to do this, but I just wanted to do it out of the love of my own heart because I just really love this game. During our FPS Rogue month, it's something that I wasn't even going to try and play, but I'm so glad that I did, and I remind myself about how good this game is. If you want to check it out, it's out on Steam right now. And a couple of months ago, they came out with a new Resonance update as well, so it's even more stuff to sink your teeth into. What do you think though, guys? Have you actually played Battle Shapers? If you have, leave your thoughts in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll be dropping a couple more of these videos sometime soon. Anyway guys, thank you so much for coming along. I really appreciate you. I'm really excited to be doing this new journey into the world of roguelikes. You're going to be seeing a lot more videos like this, as well as some runs and some bits from stream that I'm going to be putting up on the channel as well. Until the next one, roguelike fans, I'll catch you in a bit. Peace out, guys.